Kevin, I want to go back to something you said earlier about that little run. So you guys, I think the first year you made the playoffs was 2010.
Yeah.
And then in 12, obviously, you guys made the finals, a little bit of a surprise run. Maybe not to you, but certainly the basketball world. And then you guys traded James.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind when that trade went down?
Don't get canceled. Don't get in trouble.
See, yeah, you gotta
Kevin,
realize,
this is a podcast, man. We got to be honest on podcasts.
At that point, like, I wasn't really hip to the business side of it. Like, I wasn't really locked in with the front office to like, let's have a conversation about our team going forward. So this kind of the talks hit me out of nowhere. So I didn't really know how to deal with it at that point. So it was just like, I'm just focused on doing my job. Like, whoever come in here to play, like, it's cool. Like, we had a good run. We still got good players. And, if it works for both sides, then let's just do it. You know what I'm saying? But then you see, because James came off the bench for us, and then you see how he plays as a starter. It was just like, hold up. Now, was that a good move? 4 or 5 years later, it was just like, even the first game, 37,
Yeah, 35 and 10,
12,
like
and winning games. It's just
That was one of like the first NBA Twitter moments where it was
Yeah.
like everybody who was league pass locked in. It's like, oh shit, they might have fucked up. Everybody felt like everybody's watching the game together.
So in the moment, it was like, all right, let's just move on, and we'll focus on who we have here.
It's like a few days before the season too, right? Where
Yeah.
this goes in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
it all happened quick. It was like they were negotiating his rookie extension. I think they got up to $50 million, and he wanted the 5-year, $80 million, $80 million max. Houston gave it to him pretty much on the flight. To
Right.
Houston.
Great investment.
But, so are you saying that 2022 Kevin, you feel like if it had been different, if you had existed in that space then, you would have just gone to the ownership and said, you got to pay the luxury tax. You got to keep us together.
For sure.
That was not on your radar then.
Yeah, it was just, I didn't feel like I had that relationship with our GM to just walk in and have conversations like that, for one. So I just had to be down with anything that they did. I mean, I didn't get the calls on, this is who we looking at in free agency. It was just like, whoever they sign is who we sign, and we're going to play with, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm 23 years old. So it was like, that wasn't even in my thought process to ask or demand anything from the front office. So
When did that click though? 16? That started for you in 16 when you started getting whatever you just, I don't forget the word you said, hip to the business side or whatever.
Yeah, I want to say, right after that 13, 14, I just wanted to know who was going to be on my team. I wanted to know the guys that we were playing with. I seen the league start to change, so obviously we wanted more shooters around. I wanted more skill on the team, but I didn't have that relationship with Sam Presti in the front office. We were, it was a good work relationship, but we didn't go deep into the business. So as time went on, I just wanted to get more informed on who was going to be on my team. And, I started just digging into the business a little bit more.
You feel like that's the natural progression for like a star in the league? Or I don't know, the player empowerment era, like they say now. I feel like some guys show up now just demanding shit automatically.
You don't know much coming into the league, but just playing, so you just want to focus on your craft and getting better and just hooping. But now it's just, everything's out there. The rumor mill is so easy to, it's easy to see these trade rumors and easy to be involved in this shit now. So, and these dudes, you coming in with a good relationship with your GM and your owner, so you can have these casual conversations about who's on the team.
Yeah, I would say you don't know until you know. So as a young player, you don't know till you go through it and you have those experiences. And one of the things that happens over time is when you are a superstar or you're a star player and then you're on a max deal, like if you're smart, you see how people treat you. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. I got a little juice here. I might have to take advantage of this. That's our league. That's our league. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's our league. Our league is like, historically speaking, you have to have a top 5 or a couple top 10 players to win a championship. To be a great team, you need that. And so if you are one of those guys, it's like all of a sudden you're like, there's an aha moment where, oh shit. And I didn't get that. Let's be clear. I didn't get that.
It would benefit a GM for you to bounce ideas off your best players. They out there playing the game, so it's not a bad thing that they partnering up with, you know, some of those decisions on the roster.
But do you think that it's very different when we're talking about you specifically, where from that point on it was very clear that any GM, owner, whatever should be listening to you? Where it can become tricky is when guys think, maybe they don't think they're you specifically, but they think they should have that relationship with organizations, and maybe they shouldn't. Like maybe they're not good enough to deserve it.
I mean, some organizations, some roles are different in organizations. Some players
Are you talking about the Kings?
You might be the number one guy on your team. You might demand that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're the number one option on your team, you might get that. You know, each organization is different.